Looking at Maya Chan from across the school hallway, you'd never guess she could break a wooden board with her bare hands. With her quiet demeanor, oversized glasses, and books clutched tightly to her chest, she seemed like any other 17-year-old navigating the complex social dynamics of Lincoln High School. That's exactly what Derek Thompson and his crew thought when they decided to make her their latest target. It was a Tuesday morning in October when Derek cornered Maya by the lockers. The hallway buzzed with the usual pre-class chatter, but a hush fell over nearby students as they sensed trouble brewing. "Hey, Four Eyes, nice backpack," Derek sneered, grabbing Maya's worn canvas bag and dumping its contents across the polished floor. "Oops, clumsy me." His friends erupted in laughter as pencils, notebooks, and her carefully packed lunch scattered in every direction. Maya knelt down silently, her face flushed with embarrassment, methodically gathering her belongings. Other students watched from a distance, some filming with their phones, others simply grateful it wasn't them. What none of them knew, including Derek, was that Maya had been training in Kyokushin karate for 8 years, held a second-degree black belt, and had just won the regional championship 3 weeks prior. But Maya's sensei had taught her something crucial. True strength wasn't about fighting, it was about choosing when to fight. Before I move deeper into this story, I want you to tell me where you're watching from in the comments. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here and enjoy interesting stories like this. Maya's journey into martial arts began 8 years earlier, when she was just 9 years old. Her parents, both immigrants from Taiwan, had enrolled her in karate classes after she came home from school with a black eye and torn clothing. A group of older kids had picked on her for bringing weird food in her lunchbox, homemade dumplings that her grandmother had lovingly prepared. "I was tired of feeling helpless," Maya recalls. "My parents could see I was struggling, not just with the bullying, but with confidence in general. They thought karate might help." Under the guidance of Sensei Rodriguez, a former tournament champion who ran the local dojo, Maya discovered more than just physical techniques. She learned discipline, respect, and the philosophy that violence should always be a last resort. The dojo became her sanctuary, a place where her quiet nature was seen as focus, not weakness. Maya was special from the beginning, Sensei Rodriguez remembers. She absorbed everything like a sponge. But more importantly, she understood that karate wasn't about hurting others. It was about protecting yourself and standing up for what's right. Years of training had transformed Maya's body and mind. Her seemingly fragile frame concealed incredible strength and lightning-fast reflexes. She could execute a perfect spinning heel kick, break boards with her bare hands, and had sparred with opponents twice her size. Yet she remained humble, never boasting about her abilities to classmates. The bullying at Lincoln High had been building for weeks. Derek Thompson, a senior with a reputation for intimidating younger students, had initially targeted Maya with verbal taunts about her appearance and academic success. When that didn't get the reaction he wanted, he escalated to physical harassment, shoulder bumps in the hallway, knocking books from her hands, and stealing her lunch money. Maya's friends begged her to report Derek to the administration, but she had tried that route before at her previous school with little success. Teachers often dismissed such incidents as kids being kids, and reporting bullies sometimes made the situation worse. "I felt trapped," Maya explains. "I knew I could defend myself physically, but I also knew that fighting would just create more problems. I kept hoping Derek would get bored and move on to someone else." The situation reached a breaking point when Derek's harassment extended to Maya's younger brother, Tommy, a freshman who had inherited his sister's quiet disposition but none of her martial arts training. When Maya discovered that Derek had cornered Tommy in the bathroom and threatened him, something inside her shifted. The confrontation happened on a Friday afternoon in the school courtyard. Maya was walking to her car when she heard shouting. She turned to see Derek and 3 of his friends surrounding Tommy, who was backed against a wall with his hands raised defensively. "Please, just leave me alone," Tommy pleaded, his voice shaking. Derek pushed Tommy hard against the brick wall. "Your weird sister thinks she's better than everyone. Maybe you need to learn some respect for both of you." That's when Maya's 8 years of training and her protective instincts converged into a moment of crystal clarity. She dropped her backpack and walked calmly toward the group. "Derek, leave my brother alone," she said, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Derek turned, a cruel smile spreading across his face. "Oh look, Four Eyes is gonna save the day. What are you gonna do? Hit me with your calculator?" His friends laughed, but Maya noticed something else. A small crowd had gathered, including several students with their phones out, recording. She realized this moment would define not just her own future, but possibly inspire others who felt powerless against bullies. What happened next would become legendary at Lincoln High School. Derek lunged toward Maya, intending to shove her like he had her brother. Instead, Maya smoothly sidestepped, grabbed his wrist, and in one fluid motion, used his own momentum to send him tumbling to the ground. Derek scrambled to his feet, his face red with embarrassment and anger. "You got lucky," he snarled, charging at her again. This time, Maya didn't hold back. She executed a perfect defensive sequence, blocking his wild swing, delivering a controlled strike to his solar plexus that left him gasping, and following up with a sweep that sent him to the ground again. Her movements were precise, controlled, and undeniably skilled. The crowd was stunned into silence. Maya stood over Derek, not breathing heavily, not even looking particularly upset. She looked like she had just demonstrated a routine technique in the dojo. "I don't want to fight you, Derek," she said calmly, "but I won't let you hurt my brother or anyone else. This stops now." Derek's friends helped him to his feet, but the fight had gone out of him. He looked around at the crowd of students, many of whom had their phones out, recording his humiliation. Without another word, he and his crew walked away. The video of Maya's confrontation with Derek went viral within hours. Students who had never paid attention to the quiet girl with glasses suddenly saw her in a completely different light. The footage showed not just her physical skills, but her composure, her restraint, and her clear desire to de-escalate rather than dominate. Principal Johnson called Maya into his office the next Monday, not to discipline her, but to understand what had happened. After reviewing the video and speaking with witnesses, he concluded that Maya had acted in self-defense and in defense of her brother. "What impressed me most," Principal Johnson recalls, was that Maya used the minimum force necessary to stop the situation. She could have seriously hurt Derek if she wanted to, but she chose not to. That showed real character. Derek, meanwhile, faced suspension for his role in the incident. The viral video had exposed his pattern of bullying, and several other students came forward with their own stories of harassment. He was required to undergo counseling and perform community service as part of his punishment. Maya's story had an impact far beyond her immediate situation. The video sparked conversations about bullying, self-defense, and the importance of standing up for others. Several students approached Maya about joining the karate club she had quietly started the previous year. "I never expected any of this," Maya reflects. "I just wanted Derek to stop hurting people. But I realized that sometimes you have to be willing to stand up, even when it's scary." Sensei Rodriguez was proud but not surprised by his students' actions. Maya embodied everything we teach in the dojo that day. She showed courage, restraint, and compassion, even for someone who was hurting her family. The incident also led to changes at Lincoln High School. The administration implemented new anti-bullying policies and increased supervision in areas where harassment commonly occurred. Maya was invited to speak at an assembly about her experience, where she emphasized that martial arts training wasn't about becoming a fighter. It was about becoming someone who could protect others. Maya's story offers several important lessons about bullying, self-defense, and personal courage. Standing up doesn't always mean fighting. Maya endured weeks of harassment before the situation escalated to physical confrontation. She tried other approaches first, including reporting the behavior and attempting to avoid Derek entirely. Training provides confidence, not just technique. Maya's years of martial arts training gave her the confidence to remain calm under pressure and the skills to defend herself when necessary. Sometimes protecting others requires personal risk. Maya might have continued to endure Derek's harassment, but she couldn't stand by when her brother was threatened. The power of restraint is greater than the power of violence. Maya's controlled response, using only the force necessary to stop the threat, demonstrated true strength and earned her respect from peers and adults alike. Today, Maya is a senior at Lincoln High School and captain of the karate club, which has grown from 3 members to over 30. She's planning to study criminal justice in college with the goal of becoming a police officer. Derek, meanwhile, has reportedly learned from the experience. After completing his suspension and community service, he joined the school's peer mediation program and has been working to repair relationships with students he previously bullied. "I don't hate Derek," Maya says. "I think he was probably dealing with his own problems and taking them out on others. I hope he's learned that there are better ways to handle whatever he was going through." Maya's story reminds us that heroes don't always look like what we expect. Sometimes they're quiet, studious teenagers who prefer books to confrontation. But when the moment comes to stand up for what's right, true character reveals itself. The viral video of Maya's confrontation with Derek has been viewed millions of times, inspiring countless others who have faced bullying or felt powerless in difficult situations. Her message is simple but powerful. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be the strongest, and sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is stand up for someone who can't stand up for themselves. As Maya puts it, strength isn't about being able to hurt people. It's about being able to protect them. And sometimes, protecting others means protecting them from people who haven't learned that lesson yet. In a world where bullying remains a persistent problem in schools across the country, Maya Chen's story serves as both inspiration and instruction. It shows that with proper training, support, and courage, even the quietest among us can become powerful advocates for justice and protection for those who need it most.